Okay, so obviously the cover of my PS4 at the moment is still off, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what I went through getting this thing working. So my PS4 the disk drive had been on the outs for a while. I couldn't even tell you how long it's been doing it, where it makes that unpleasant grindy noise and has a hard time pushing in and popping out discs and the whole deal. So I ordered a new one off of eBay after checking my model number and making sure that I was getting what I needed and blah blah blah. So I go to put the disk drive into the PS4 and everything seems to go off without a hitch. And then I go and I plug everything back in and I'm testing it, and it seems like the disk drive is doing what it was doing before. The new one is doing what the old one did. I'm like, oh God, please don't tell me that I bought a faulty drive. And so I'm going into the office and I'm pulling it apart and I'm getting ready to, gut the thing and figure out what the hell's going on. And I get as far as, obviously here taking the top covers off, and I'm like, wait. I'm going to take it back into the room with the cover off, and I'm going to put a disc in a few times, and I'm going to see what happens. Now, when I first booted it up with the cover off like this, the drive was still doing that weird kind of grindy noise at boot up that the old one was doing after I had taken it in and taken it out and all of that. And so I'm like, I'm going to try something. So I take a disc here, Fallout 4, because yes, and I try popping it in and popping it out a couple of times. Now, the first time in was a little rough. And I think it had something to do with like the drive settling or just kind of getting where it needed to be or something. But now that it's done that, I put the disc in, it was rough the first time, but then it popped out perfectly. I put the disc in, it goes in perfectly. And I popped it out and it went out perfectly again. So, here. Just like brand new. So, if you are one of those people who has, done the teardown on your PS4 and replaced the optical drive or whatever, or if you haven't done that yet but are planning on it, just be aware that even with everything going perfect on the install, that there's a bit of a adjustment period, I guess you'd call it, on getting everything back into place the way that it needs to be. So just be aware, don't stress out, don't panic, just let the drive do what it needs to do, and you'll be fine. And there you have it. eBay bought optical drive for the PS4. Mine's a 1215 model. Perfectly done, perfectly executed, and working like it's brand new. So, yeah. Just thought I would record this little video in case anyone has tried to do this and has gotten kind of intimidated or overwhelmed like I did when I was, trying to do this stuff. That it can work, it just needs a little bit of TLC to get it working once it's been freshly installed. So yeah, thanks for watching.